Blessings and welcome back to my channel. We have a full moon coming up on February 5th at 1:28 p.m. Eastern Time. This moon is going to be in the tropical zodiac of Leo, along with Gene Key 7, and in the Sidereal Vedic Nakshatra of Ashlesha. This Leonian energy is asking us to step up from deep within ourselves in order to express our love, in order to shine brightly, right? Leo is connected to this solar energy, and it's also asking us to step deeper into our ability to embody pride. Now, there's a difference between pride coming from a place of heart-centered awareness versus pride coming more from the mind and falling into the illusion of superiority, right? Healthy pride doesn't look at better than or less than anything else. Healthy pride uses itself as an opportunity for reflection. This retrospective comparison with an older version of oneself. And the pride, which is embodied from that place, comes from a place of love. It comes from a place of reverence and humility for what we have been through and what we have experienced and what creations have come out from that place. Gene Key 7 is the shadow of division, the gift of guidance, and the siddhi of virtue. And this division energy comes from the place of being authoritarian. When you feel like you know better than someone else, when you feel like you have to force something or tell someone else what to do, there's already this, whether conscious or unconscious, hierarchy that is present, right? So therefore there's already this division that's created between yourself and the other, between yourself and those who you are imposing your will upon. But when we think about the energy of guidance, it's a different playing field that we're on. It isn't higher or lower, right? It's just this ability to show one the way towards something. And they can themselves go along in that way if it's aligned with their path. Therefore, guidance comes from this place of equanimity and equality, where it isn't needing to force anything or to enforce one's will or to impose one's thoughts and ideas. It's a kind of leadership that is so embodied in this deeper wisdom versus the intellect and the illusion of right and wrong, right? It's a lot more heart-centered in a way which will lead that individual or which will lead those to the direction that they want to go, which will support them, the whole collective, to this higher direction and this higher pathway. What comes to mind when I think about this is the wolf pack, right? In every wolf pack, the alpha male isn't necessarily leading from the front and saying, hey, follow me. Where is it? It stays at the back and it leads from the back, right? So it kind of holds the container, it holds the field of guidance through its own leadership. From a Vedic and sidereal perspective, the full moon is going to be in the asterism, the Nakshatra of Ashlesha. And Ashlesha translates to the clinging one. It can be found as a large star in the constellation of Hydra. And if you know anything about Greek mythology, you may know that Hydra represents this demon being that has snake heads. And each time anyone tried to cut off one of its heads, 2 more would grow back. The energy of this archetype is ruled by the Nagas. So the Nagas in Vedic mythology are known as the serpent deities. And Ashlesha individuals have the ability to be incredibly perceptive, almost cunning sometimes, but they have a really high level of intellect to where their gaze, their focus can almost pierce and penetrate into the being, into that which is being observed, to see the deeper truths of what is occurring. Another gift of this nakshatra is that it is able to control poison. So when we think of the phrase, the medicine is found within the poison, we can understand that in moderation, in perhaps smaller, healthier amounts, this poison can be beneficial. When you think about the destructive process done in correct timing and correct alignment for our life circumstance and our situation, right? When some things need to come to a closure, when certain aspects of ourselves and certain behaviors and habits, right, need to be cut off and replaced with something else, this energy of poison can be beneficial. So the Ashlesha energy has the ability to control poison, and used in a balanced way, it knows when and where to distribute this energy in order to create the correct kind of destruction to bring things into balance. As I said, Ashlesha is also known as the clinging one. So it has this potential as well to almost be seductive and to draw people and things in. Like when you think of the energy of the snake charmer, you know, there's something captivating about it. So used in a healthy, balanced way, we can utilize these energies to discern what it is that we need to let go of, where we might benefit from using this poison in a way that's ultimately healing, right? In a way that will perhaps support our psychic and energetic immune systems, and also understand where we can embody a healthy sense of pride, one that's heart-centered and not coming from the divisiveness that the mind imposes upon reality, but one that comes from this embodied place of love and understanding and compassion. Right? When I think of the Leo energy, the ultimate Leonian energy, standing in its fullness and standing with its pride, its family, its tribe around it, it's not coming from this divisive place of separation, but it's coming from honoring the connections and honoring the roles of everyone involved. Another astrological aspect that's prominent right now, which is important to consider, is that the moon and the sun will be making a T-square to the planet Uranus. So in every full moon, the sun is always opposing the moon. That's how it's full, right? The light of the sun shines on the moon, and then that light reflects back to us here on Earth. So here we have something called a T-square, where at a 90-degree angle to both, Uranus is there. And the way that T-square energies work is that the polarities between the oppositions create this dynamic propulsion of energy, right? But that energy needs somewhere to discharge. So in these T-squares, the energy has a discharge point at the apex. So here, the apex is Uranus, right? And Uranus is the planet of change and transformation, sudden change. It is the archetype of the lightning bolt coming in and shaking things up, right? And creating rifts and ruptures so energy and space can be created for new things to grow and to come forth. And I see the sun and the moon as these male, female, masculine, feminine archetypes. The masculine and feminine energy within ourselves, regardless of gender. The masculine and feminine relational dynamics that we experience on the outside. So this Uranus energy is bringing a shock, a change, a transformation of some sort in between the masculine and feminine aspects within ourselves, and also in between perhaps our relationships in the external world. So this is something to be aware of and look out for during this time. The important thing to remember amongst all of this is that depending on our perspective, if our way of seeing life allows, we can see change as a beneficial thing, right? We can perceive things, although it may be challenging to do so in the moment, as something greater that is happening for us, okay? So all change can be an opportunity to be dealt with creatively. It can be an opportunity for new things to be birthed and brought forth. If you're curious to where this energy in particular might be playing out in your chart, you can go pull up your natal chart online and look to see which houses. So where Aquarius, Leo, and where Taurus fall in your birth chart. This will give you an idea of how these themes are playing out. So if you'd like this video and you'd like to see more of my content moving forward, please be sure to hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. And if you'd like to book a one-on-one human design or gene key reading so we can go deeper into these codes together, go ahead and check the link in the description box below. I'm sending you all the grace for this full moon, as well as a reminder of your own personal empowerment from a place of deep humility.